Hi, my name is Reverend Dale Brown, and it is a real privilege to visit with you today on this podcast. I have this year and the end of last year worked hard at having some very special and important guests, and today we have two guests on our podcast who are, I think, outstanding, hardworking, dedicated young women, and I am thrilled to have them not only be here on the podcast but as a part of the larger staff of Community Church. And I mean that very sincerely, ladies. You guys have been tremendous to have here at this church. And let me introduce them to you and tell you who they are, and then they can sort of tell you a little more about themselves. First, on the far left is Brittany Collins. Brittany is our director at Little Lambs, and she came to us first as an assistant director, and then during a time of crisis was hired as the director. Brittany has done a phenomenal job. She has been outstanding. Brittany, thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you.
You really have done incredibly well. And Iola, it was like a package deal. You all worked together at a previous child care center.
Yes.
And Iola has done as equally phenomenal a job as Brittany. And she is our assistant director. And Iola is just a phenomenal person. And Iola, thank you for the job that you have done as well. So I know a little bit about you guys because I work with you. And so what I'd like for you to do is, beginning with Brittany and then going to Iola, just tell us a little bit about how you got to this place, maybe where you went to school, maybe where you worked before, and a little bit about you that because we're all curious. So Brittany, go ahead.
All right, so starting with me, I am Brittany Collins, of course, the new director here at Little Lambs. I am coming from 10 years of experience over at another center in Frankfort, Delaware, previously Cozy Critters Child Care. There I was a teacher, assistant director, and then my last role there was the director. Iola and I met there, essentially. She was a teacher there under my supervision, and after Cozy Critters had closed, I went out looking for a totally different job, went into an office position, randomly came across Little Lamb's assistant director position and applied. Got that, and within 1 week, Miss Iola had applied to the same child care center, being here at Little Lambs, and now we are working as a team to make Little Lambs all that it can be. My personal life, I have a husband and 3 children at home, 3 amazing little boys that take up all of my time when I'm not here at Little Lambs.
And a chicken farm.
Yes, and my husband has a chicken farm as well. So he grows for Amick Farms, and we have 6 chicken houses.
Cool. Well, thank you. Brittany, what educational background do you have?
So I graduated from Indian River High School, which is, right down the road. And then I have an associate's degree from Delaware Tech in early childhood education.
Which campus did you go to?
Right here in Georgetown, so
okay.
Owens.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. My son went to the one in Dover. So
okay. Yeah.
Iola?
I'm Iola Tariq. I'm the assistant director here at Little Lambs. Brittany pretty much went into how we met and how we came into play at Little Lambs. I had an unfortunate family crisis that took me from Cozy Critters. When I came back, I had put an application in for Little Lambs, and they called me in to find that Brittany was also here. Mm-hmm. And I was hired as a teacher, and a few weeks later, Pastor Brown had called me into the office along with the HR and offered me the assistant director's job. And I took it with God leading me in that. Poor man, I told him I had to pray about it. And so here we are as a team. I am a native from Berlin. I graduated from Stephen Decatur High School. I went to Dow Tech, which I have a human service degree at Dow Tech. I have 3 kids, a son, 2 daughters, and a beautiful husband that I adore. We have been married for 40 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does your husband do for a living?
My husband is the DS in the back of Food Line. He scans the trucks as they come in and make sure everything is there.
So one of the things I like about these 2 ladies is the fact that there's a real friendship and a real trust and respect, and that when you talk to one and you go to the other, you get the same response. Sometimes the child might want to play off like mom against dad, and that doesn't work for these 2 ladies. So tell me, what about childcare? that excites you? What makes you get up in the morning, want to come to work and take care of other people's children in addition to your own?
What excites me about childcare is the time of their growth that you can install and teach them to grow up to be the adults that we in society really want to have around as our presidents, our vice presidents. You know, you teach them, their minds are forever changing, they're curious, and this is a time that you can be a role model to them and install good things into them.
You never know when you look at that little face of that little girl or boy who they might become.
That is true.
And you know, I think the potential in any one of those children for good is so huge.
Yes.
I mean, you can look at that child and say, I invested in that child, and while I'm not fully responsible, I'm partially responsible for the good things the child does.
That is true.
It's a wonderful reality.
It
really
is.
is.
It is.
Brittany?
For me, I got into childcare. I did the teaching thing, and I absolutely loved it. Putting myself into more of an administrative role, I really enjoyed coming into childcare. I took 4 months off and came back in. I love to be able to help mentor and guide teachers in being able to help them teach the children, love the children, and help them become all that they can be. So that's a huge role for me. That's one of my favorite things is, you know, working with alongside the teachers and just helping them become a better teacher and, you know, making sure that they are here for the children. So that's my responsibility of making sure that the children have people caring for them who actually care for them and want to be here for them.
It's an amazing reality. I've been a United Methodist clergy person now for 30 years. And my prayer is that in my own life, in my own profession, I'm still growing. I'm still developing. And you do that really, really well with these young, for us it's all young ladies, with these persons who really have responded to your leadership in a wonderful way. So when you think about Little Lambs, I'm going to say what I think are the two greatest accomplishments that you all have done, and then I'd like to hear what you think you'd like to see happen in the future. The two greatest accomplishments that I think that you ladies have brought about is, first of all, the reaccreditation. That was hard work, and you all put a lot of time and effort into that, and you did a fabulous job. Thank you so much for that. And it's important that parents have these types of things where they know that this place has gone through training and preparation, their child's going to be safe, and you have brought back the reaccreditation after a 3-year absence. We're incredibly thankful for that, and I think that's a significant thing. The other thing I think is really important is that you're beginning to change the culture. And the culture of being one of really interacting with and developing the child. And Iola mentioned how, you know, we don't know what that child can become, but as that child learns and grows, and in the midst of a community of other children and adults, I think changing that culture and making it into a place that really emphasizes learning and personal growth and the love of the child is really important. So Brittany, what do you think is your most significant achievement, and where do you want to see Little Lambs go as the director?
Our biggest achievement, I think, was really getting our accreditation. That was huge for us. We were both new to Maryland and everything that has to do with childcare in the state of Maryland. So being able to work with the girls and really go full circle with that was huge for us. So I think that is probably our biggest accomplishment to date. And moving forward, I think it's more or less just us creating a really tight-knit team over at Little Lambs, making sure all the girls understand the expectations and everyone working together to take care of all of the children enrolled in our center. I think that's what we're working the most towards now. We have a really good foundation. I think everybody has bonded and we've gained those relationships and the respect. Everybody has all of that. So I think it's just making sure, you know, we're all on board to keep Little Lambs at the level 5 that it should be.
Cool. And that level 5 means that what?
It's just kind of a rating scale that they put out for childcare that allows parents to see at what level of care their child would typically be receiving.
The highest level.
Yeah, so it's 1 through 5. 5 stars. Well, they do check marks in Maryland, but 5. It's a 5 check mark system, and
Stars
we are.
Sound better. I like
Yeah. So it is we are at a level 5, and we just strive to keep it at that, and also just continue to improve anything that, you know, could be lacking over the years, and just make everything better.
So I heard last night at a meeting that you all have been praying about and talking about only having 5s across the board. And you got your 5s.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
So Iola, and I think you were the one that actually said that.
Yes.
And things. So what is it that you think is your greatest accomplishment so far? And you know, since you and Brittany are like a package deal, you work together so well. What is it you want to see happen in Little Lambs?
Well, the greatest accomplishment was to see everyone to be on one accord. As we said, we came in from Delaware, and coming into Maryland, there were different regulations and things that we had to learn, and we got through it with the grace of God. And everyone is on one accord, and because teamwork makes the dream work. Going forward with Little Lambs, I look forward to it expanding, taking in more children, having the church more involved as we do now. We have SPRC coming in reading to our classrooms on one Friday a month. Maybe having them come in 2 Fridays a month.
Okay.
We have that chapel time with you, Pastor.
That's tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. And I really look forward to the kids being introduced more into the church setting where they can start learning. Because as we guide them also, like we said before, we don't know who we have in our hands.
And we are a church-related child care center.
Yes.
I mean, we want to put the best of science and learning in one part, and also the best of our faith for children as well. And so I think that's important. Wonderful answers, ladies.
Thank you.
Again, I would say to you that these 2 ladies have done a phenomenal job here at Little Lambs. And we're going to ask one more question. And Brittany sort of alluded to it when she mentioned something earlier. When you're not at Little Lambs, when you're not working, what is it you like to do? I mean, who are you away from here, so that somebody would get to know you and say, hey, Brittany, your boys were playing baseball, or they were doing something. So who are you when you're not here?
Outside of Little Lambs, I am mainly just a mother to 3 boys who are very active, like I said. If I'm not at home just relaxing with the kids, we're at a baseball field 90% of the time. So
let's change your wording a little bit. You're not just a mother, because no one is ever just a mother. Mothers are really important. You are an outstanding mother with those boys.
Yes.
And so you spend a lot of time at baseball. Do they do other sports?
Nope, they play strictly baseball year round.
They're smart young men. They are smart guys.
Yes. If we're not at home, my husband and I are with them.
Do they root for the Orioles?
They do not.
Well, we're going to pray for them. We're going to pray for them.
No, they are Nats fans.
Okay, well, yeah, they really need prayer. We're going to cast that right out of them at some point. So, and Iola, who are you away from here? I know you've got the husband, and your children are older than Brittany's?
My children are all grown, but we are still a very tight-knit family.
Good.
So
wonderful.
I travel a lot to North Carolina, and I have a daughter that lives in Annapolis, so I'm either there. And I have one child that lives local.
Okay, so when you go to North Carolina, would you bring back barbecue?
No.
Oh, so
and I'm also involved with my church. I'm a lay leader at St. John's.
And St. John's is a wonderful church, and I know your pastor and know some of the folks from your church.
Yes.
We are so privileged here at Community Church to have these 2 ladies. They are outstanding. They're very, very professional. They're intelligent. They're very capable women. They're a tremendous asset to this church, to Little Lambs. Thanks for being here. They were very anxious about this podcast, and I think you guys have done outstanding. So thank you so much for doing this. If you have the chance to get to know them, I am sure that you will be as impressed as I have been. Thanks for listening, and may God bless you.